One of the biggest mistakes I see fashion brands make has nothing to do with their products. It has nothing to do with their website, and it has nothing to do with their pricing. The mistake is building their entire business around rented traffic. Let me explain what I mean. Most fashion brands start the same way. They launch a store, run meta ads, maybe experiment with TikTok, maybe test some Google ads, sales start coming in, the business begins growing, everything looks great, until something changes, ad costs increase, competition increases, performance becomes inconsistent, suddenly the brand is spending more money to generate the same result. And that's where the stress starts. I can't tell you how many store owners I've spoken with who feel trapped by this cycle. Every month starts at zero. Every month requires another advertising budget. Every month depends on paying platforms to send traffic. And while there's nothing wrong with paid advertising, then I think most fashion brands become far too dependent on it. Before I go further, if you'd like me to personally review your Shopify store and identify growth opportunities, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. Now let's continue. One of the reasons I think this happens is because paid advertising gives immediate feedback. You spend money, you get traffic, you get sales. It's easy to understand. SEO feels slower, more complicated, less exciting. That's why many brands ignore it. But here's the question I always ask. What happens if you turn your ads off tomorrow? For many brands, traffic disappears almost immediately. Sales slow down, growth slows down. The entire business becomes dependent on continually feeding the advertising machine. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not a very resilient business model. And the way I think about it is simple. Paid ads are rented traffic. SEO is owned traffic. When you stop paying for ads, the traffic usually stops. When you stop actively working on SEO, the traffic you've already earned often continues producing results. That's a huge difference. And no, I'm not suggesting fashion brands should stop running ads. In fact, I think many brands should continue using paid traffic. What I'm suggesting is balance. The strongest brands I've seen don't rely on a single acquisition channel. They build multiple ways for customers to discover them: paid ads, organic search, social media, email marketing, returning customers. When one channel slows down, the entire business doesn't collapse. One of the biggest opportunities I see inside fashion brands is that many already have products customers are searching for. The demand already exists. The challenge is visibility. Google processes billions of searches every day. People are actively searching for clothing, accessories, styles, trends, and product. The question becomes, is your store showing up or is your competitor showing up? That's where SEO becomes interesting, because SEO isn't really about rankings. It's about being visible when buyers are looking for solutions. And unlike social media, that visibility can continue producing results for years. I recently worked with a Shopify apparel brand that grew from roughly 23 organic clicks per day to nearly 600 clicks per day. One of the reasons that growth became possible was because we focused on creating more opportunities for customers to discover the brand. More collection opportunities, better keyword targeting, improved internal linking, better product presentation, consistent execution. Over time, those improvements compounded, and that's really the lesson. Growth doesn't always come from spending more. Sometimes growth comes from becoming easier to find. If you're running a fashion brand today, I would challenge you to ask yourself one question. If your advertising account disappeared tomorrow, how would customers find you? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, it may be time to start investing in additional acquisition channels, not instead of paid advertising, alongside it, because the goal isn't choosing between SEO and ads. The goal is building a stronger business. If you're running a Shopify apparel or fashion brand and you'd like me to personally review your store, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. I'll identify growth opportunities and help you determine whether SEO could become a meaningful traffic source for your business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.